Today, we're going to dive into Vaastu. It's this incredible ancient Indian science of arranging space. And really, it's all about understanding how to work with the energy of your environment, not against it, so you can breathe life back into the places you spend all your time.
I mean, think about it. You've definitely had this happen. You walk into a room and you just feel this immediate sense of calm, right? Like you can finally take a deep breath. And then you've walked into other places and felt instantly on edge. And you can't even put your finger on why. Well, that feeling, that vibe, that's exactly what Vaastu is all about.
And this contrast is something we've all felt for sure. You look at the space on the left, and it just feels inspiring, uplifting. Then you look at the one on the right, and it feels chaotic, kind of draining. We instinctively know there's a difference, and Vaastu gives us the language to understand why we feel that way. At the very heart of all this is a concept called prana. The easiest way to think about it is as this invisible life force that flows through absolutely everything, including our homes. When prana can circulate freely, we feel great. But when it gets blocked or stagnant, that's when we feel that sense of unease or imbalance.
Now, okay, what's really cool is the nuance that's hidden right in the name itself. You see, Vaastu, with that short ah sound, refers to the raw material, the potential of a space. But Vaastu, with the long ah, is the realization of that potential, the finished, harmonious dwelling. So the whole science of Vaastu is literally about transforming raw space into a home that supports life. This idea was just perfectly captured by Vimalananda, who is the mentor of Dr. Robert Svoboda, the author of our source text. He was adamant that the actual shape of your land and your house has this huge impact on your well-being. And he told this simple but really powerful story about two very different plots of land to explain it. So he explained that there are basically two fundamental shapes for a piece of land. One is what he called the tiger-mouthed tract, which is wide at the front and then gets narrow towards the back. The other is the cow-mouthed tract, which is the exact opposite. It's narrow at the front and then opens up wide at the back. And the difference between them? It's huge. And the analogy he used is just brilliant. A tiger, right? It consumes a lot but produces very little. So a tiger-mouthed plot of land is said to kind of drain your resources. This actually makes it pretty good for a business, where the whole point is to draw energy and customers in from the street. But for a home, you want the total opposite. A cow consumes very little, but provides so much nourishment and abundance. A cow-mouthed tract is said to nurture your well-being, making it absolutely ideal for a home.
And this brings us to a really powerful way of thinking about this. Your home is an extension of you. It's like your second skin. You know, just like our skin protects us and sort of mediates our connection to the world, our home should do the same thing on a larger scale. It should be this protective, nurturing boundary that supports our life inside it.
So, when we actually succeed in creating this supportive second skin, we achieve what Vaastu calls sukha, and it literally translates to good space. It's that genuine state of happiness and ease that happens when our inner world is in sync with our outer world, when our home is actually supporting our health and our contentment.
What's so fascinating is just how deeply connected we are to these spaces. Vaastu talks about this life-supporting tripod: our mind, our prana, and our breath. Our breath actually resonates with the physical structure of the house. Our personal prana interacts with the house's energy flow, and our mind gets influenced by its subtle vibrations. But here's the kicker. You only need to influence one of these to affect the other two. It's all connected.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually start to notice these energies for ourselves? How do you really learn to read a room and figure out what your own space is trying to tell you?
All right, let's get practical. We're going to walk through your very first steps in Vaastu to help you start developing your own awareness of your space.
So, the first exercise is super simple. It's all about awareness, and it starts with your breath. Just find a comfortable place to sit and pay attention to the natural rhythm of your breathing. Don't force anything. Once you feel settled, start to walk through your home one room at a time. As you go into each space, just pause and notice. Does your breath get deeper and more relaxed, or does it feel a little shallower, more restricted? This is your body giving you direct feedback on how its prana is meshing with the space. For example, look at this room. See that sharply slanting ceiling? It creates this feeling of compression, of being pushed down. Can you imagine how that might affect your breathing if you spent a lot of time in here? A lot of people would feel really constricted, and that's a clear physical sign that the flow of prana is being cramped by the space itself. Okay, so our next tool is our own intuition, that gut feeling. So pick one room in your house.
First, just sit down and get a baseline for how it feels. Then, go and clear out the very center of the room. Remove any furniture, any clutter. Just create what Vaastu calls breathing room. Now, sit down again and notice the difference. Does it feel lighter, more open? Vaastu teaches us that we have to trust this feeling. It's an incredibly powerful tool for perception.
So, the next time you walk into your home, just take a moment. Pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to that feeling in your gut. Vasta isn't really about a bunch of abstract rules. It's about starting a conversation with your environment. And the only question left is, what is your space trying to tell you?